Hello, supply chain universe. I'm so excited to speak with you today about leading with purpose. And today's episode is really for anybody. You don't have to be a leader to lead with purpose. We'll talk about what leading with purpose means and why it matters. But first and foremost, I want to make the connection with the healthcare setting, right? Because I know that leading with purpose for any healthcare worker, it's easy, right? It's quite easy within that setting, but perhaps almost the most difficult, right? As you work to help save lives, help people get better and stay healthy, but you see the good and the bad that comes with that. And perhaps leading with purpose then is really leading with relentless purpose. Despite setbacks and hard times, right? You always keep your focus on the greater meaning. And so I would think that honestly, that can really apply to any industry. Leading with purpose should be unconditional and relentless. So let's get started. I'm going to start by talking about what it means to lead with purpose. Purpose it has the potential to inspire, energize, motivate, and bring teams together. So when you think about the opportunity that leaders have, it's really endless when it comes to connection to an organization's purpose. When a leader adopts an organization's purpose as their own, or it's even closely aligned to their own purpose, then magic can happen. It's like the organization can become the most magical place on earth. And that particular environment, almost like an ambiance, can make all the difference for teams and individual employees. Leading with purpose, it takes continuous intentionality and connection to the organization's values, mission, vision, and purpose. And it really answers the question of, why am I here? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And how does what I do contribute to the values, mission, vision, and purpose of the organization? And furthermore, does my true purpose, my purpose on earth, does that also align with my purpose at work? And this is where true synergies can make all the difference in a leader's mindset, right? It can have an effect and an impact on their drive, their engagement, and their performance when their purpose as an individual is in line with the organization's purpose. And that's why it's really, truly important for individuals to understand that about themselves and to match their purpose with an organization. And also, as a leader, you always want to be able to ask yourself the question of, is my leadership perceived to align with the organization's values, mission, vision, and purpose? So what can this mean for your team? Let's talk about that. Obviously, as a leader, it's important to understand how the roles on your team align and contribute to the organization's purpose. And a great way to do this is to ensure that the job descriptions contain how that role is connected to the purpose of the organization, right? And it also is helpful to identify the strengths needed in each of your roles. So when you actually go to speak at the interview table with potential candidates, you're already speaking the language of how that role and the strengths of that role are going to contribute to the organizational mission. And then they truly can connect to that, right? So when they're hired, then there's already a foundation laid where they understand that. And then how do you continue that discussion, right? How are they continually hearing how they're directly, indirectly contributing to the organization's purpose? How through their strengths do they align and contribute to the purpose of the organization? Then the next level after that is, how, as a team, are you talking about it? How are you reminding everyone of their connection and the true meaning of their roles to the organization's purpose, right? And how is that front and center for the team to continually think through and appreciate? And is there opportunity for there to be even more fruitful discussion and energy behind that? What does that look like? And as a leader, am I acting as the role model, showing that I am dedicated to the purpose, but then I'm also continually investing myself to ensure that I am the best leader, and I'm best utilizing my strengths as a leader to further the organization towards its purpose. And something to consider here is when something is out of sight, it's truly out of mind. So again, it's great practice to ensure the organization's purpose is front and center, and maybe somewhere to be seen regularly, if not on a daily basis. So let's now transition into, why does leading with purpose even matter, right? Leading with purpose, it's first and foremost a great way to build credibility as a leader. As your words align with your actions and your actions positively contribute to the organization's performance, success, and health, your team can see that. They can feel it, right? So they know that you are leading with authenticity, and it's something that matters deeply to you. The mission and the vision of an organization cannot be taken seriously by employees unless leadership is living it out. So leading with purpose is like an anchor to a boat, right? It's what every leader should be grounded in. And I would say that the best leaders of an organization are so tied to that organization's purpose, that mission, and that vision, that it's what keeps them up at night. It's what they're thinking about constantly. How are we making sure that our customers are happy? How are we making sure that our new customers are happy? How do we ensure the organization succeeds? And how do we ensure that the team understands how what they do every single day connects to the organization's purpose, and how their work connects to the organization's purpose? And it's the foundation. I would say it's the foundation. When the connection truly exists, it can fuel individual contributors, it can fuel managers, it can fuel all the leaders, and ultimately everyone that comes into contact with an organization. And when you think about it, it can be such a great foundation, but it can also be something that unfortunately brings an organization down when it's not there. But when combined with great culture, purpose-driven employees can be more engaged and likely to remain loyal to an organization. So we actually know that it has an impact on retention and engagement. So I've been talking a lot here about leading with purpose, and there are a couple of questions that I want to leave you with today. The first one being, how can you be more intentional about leading with purpose, whether that you be a leader or not? The second is, how can you more frequently incorporate the purpose discussion with your team? Whether that be in one-on-one discussions, quarterly or annual reviews, maybe even team meetings. How can you ensure that it's a common theme that everyone hears consistently? And then I also want to leave you with some tips to consider about leading with purpose. First, know it like the back of your hand. You can't live it if you don't know it, right? It's like, I would say it's not like a discontinued widget that you pull off the shelf and dust off every now and then. You have to have it handy every single day. Second, make it part of your vocabulary. with your team, with your surrounding teams, with all leaders, and with your entire organization. Live it, breathe it, and speak it. Third, surround yourself with others that do the same. This makes your job so much easier, because if you have to try to convince others to work with purpose, I would say perhaps there's an opportunity to reevaluate the hiring strategy, or even if the right people are in the right roles. And then lastly, I would say ensure that all the work that is done by the team connects back to the team and the organization's purpose. Because if it doesn't, if you're not able to connect the dots, I would question whether or not that work is truly valuable and it's something that people should be spending their time on. So I hope everything that you heard today was valuable around leading with purpose. Hopefully you are walking away with some really great tidbits. I'm really appreciative of the time, and I look forward to the next episode. Thanks so much.